Can a Christian be unconverted? You know, there is a view out there among Christian people that the traditional church has failed. Yeah, really. I mean, this is something that Christians are struggling with, that the traditional church that we see out there, the churches that dot our land with the steeple and the cross on it, you know, and the holy garb that the preacher wears and all that stuff, that the traditional church has failed. And this is this is not what I'm saying. I believe it's failed too, but I know the reason why it's failed. But, you know, this is a thinking among Christian people that the traditional church has failed. And they say, well, just look at the world in which you live in. Look at America. Christianity, churchianity, has not worked. And they come to the conclusion that the traditional church has failed. Well, in Mark 7 and verse 9, let's take a look at something Jesus said here. Mark 7 and verse 9, and he said to them, full well you reject the commandments of God that you may keep your own tradition. In other words, you have your own religious way of worshiping me. You don't follow the guideline of the Bible, or what the Bible says. Well, first of all, what the Bible calls sin. Sin is the transgression of the Ten Commandments, 1 John 3 and verse 4. But you have your own religious way of worshiping me that involves tradition, a lot of tradition that is not found in the Bible, by the way. It's not in the Bible. But you have your own way of worshiping me. And you reject the commandments of God that you may keep your own traditions. And, you know, in other words, it's not working, this way of worshiping God. It's not working. We don't see a nation that is getting closer to God. We see a nation that's getting further away from God. Why is that? Why is that? Well, let's take a look at Zephaniah 3 and verse 4 for some of the answers here. It says, her prophets are proud men of deceit. Yeah, proud men. Her prophets are proud. The preachers, you know, whoever you want to look at, they're proud. You know, they use the tithe money to live a lavish lifestyle. Yeah, they fly around in jet airplanes. They live in $1 million home or whatever. Yeah, they're proud. And notice the next line. It says, her priests have defiled the sanctuary. What? Her priests have defiled the sanctuary? You know, we could talk about child molestation in the Catholic Church, pedophiles in the Catholic Church. Well, it says here, her priests have defiled the sanctuary. They have done violence to the law. Violence. How do you do violence to the law of God? Let me tell you how. By the failure to teach obedience to the law of God. That's how you defile the law of God. You don't hear anything about obedience when you go to church. I mean, how many mainstream churches would you have to go to before you would hear that magical word, obedience?
Is that really in the Bible? What you think is in the Bible is not.